What's going on today, guys? Welcome back to another episode of WNN, Music Production News. I'm your host, massively over this shit. What is that thing people want me to do? News. In our first story, FL Studio 21 release candidate is here. What does that mean exactly? It's not the official version, but it could be the official version if they don't find any problems with it. Themes. They've added lots of themes. You can now add your own custom themes. You can now add tags to samples in case you want to tag a bunch of samples to help yourself find a certain type of drum sample or etc. Or in case you want to separate things to turn into a sample pack. You can now see loops visually in the browser. They made some improvements to tracking and recording, including auto crossfades. I remember I talked about this a bit before. And you can also do manual fades as well too. They've included some new plugins as well, such as the Luxverb for All Plugins edition, advanced algorithmic reverb with a luxurious and malleable sound that is capable of simulating realistic and experimental acoustic spaces of all sizes. The Vintage Phaser, which is part of the Signature bundle, inspired by and modeled after the 1970 Electro Harmonic Small Stone Phase Shifter. Multi-band delay for the Producer edition and higher. Splits incoming audio into 16 frequency bands and allows you to delay each band individually. That's a lot of bands. VFX sequencer, Fruity Edition and higher. A pattern arpeggiator and step sequencer designed to be used in Patcher to send note sequences to connected instrument plugins. They've also made some small updates to other plugins within their suite as well too. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't. If I get to 25,000 by the end of the year, I have to shave my head. Won't that be hilarious and somewhat shameful? News. That's a penis. News. In our next story, the Flip sampler, designed by Andrew Huang and Sphincter Suites or something, I don't know the name of the company, is now on Android. So you can now get it for Mac and Android. Is it better than the OP1 though? Flip is a sample-based mobile music studio for iOS and Android designed for a fast and intuitive workflow. Import your own sounds via AirDrop or the Files app, or record sounds directly with your device's microphone or connect to iOS interface. As soon as you record a sound, it's available to be played on drum pads as well as being mapped across the keyboard. Apparently it has the power of pretty much any other DAW is what they're saying here, except you are limited to 4 audio effects per track, but it has automation, entirely full automation apparently. It's got a performance mode as well too. I feel bad for the promoter that booked someone not knowing they're gonna play a performance on a phone. But also I would like to see that happen. So if you want to book me for a live performance on my phone, let me know in the comments. I'm assuming that's not the only thing it's for though. I'm assuming this is kind of like the clip mode for Ableton. I wouldn't know yet, I haven't used this yet. You can jam out a track on the fly, apparently. Hope that's a strong fly if you're gonna be jamming out a track on it. With Ableton Link integration, you can play and sync with the rest of your setup. Ableton wins again. Ben Jordan. Ben Jordan's just somewhere like, why am I being brought into this? If you guys want me to review this app, let me know. I will do so. I've heard some feedback though that there are some problems with it. Let's take a look at those through the reviews here. So to clarify, first up, there's a lot of positive reviews. I'm gonna read a positive one or two, and then I'm gonna read some negative ones, just so we know, I'm not just focusing on the negative ones here. Super excited this is on Android now, like super. This sounds exactly like Andrew Huang's fan base. Several bugs still in it for me though. Ones I've seen so far, EQ for tracks only shows the middle band adjuster, not all 3. Last 2 options for sample adjustment, not sure what they are, have a spot but nothing happens when I touch them. Not a bug, but I'd love to be able to loop a sample from within the sample dialog to create a sustained note from a sound. I don't really know what the fuck they mean by that. I can see why they didn't respond to that one. This person says, the UI does not fit on my screen at all. The fonts and dials are way too small on my phone. OnePlus Nord N10 5G. I've seen quite a few people mentioning this phone, which is really odd because I've never even heard of this fucking phone in my whole life. Very unusable with 0 settings to disable the home bar, like it would when going full screen on other apps. Very disappointed I spent money on this, bought twice because I couldn't leave a review after a refund. I can't believe that guy bought it again so he could leave a review. You got a refund. It was like, fuck, I can't leave a horrible review anymore. Better buy it again. There's only a specific way to put files from your computer onto the phone, but it seems like they're working on updates pretty quickly here and just jamming them out. But yeah, you have to use a files app like File Manager. It does seem like one of the problems is bringing files onto the proper spot in the phone. If you guys want me to review this, let me know. You know what would be a good idea? News. In our next story, would you believe Teenage Engineering, OP1 field, now has velocity sensitivity? Yeah, you heard that right. It didn't have it before that, and people were spending thousands of dollars on it. Why? I honestly couldn't tell you why. I don't know why. It's like they're mind controlling a portion of the population. I have no idea why people spend money on teenage engineering products. It would make more sense if they at least didn't cost so much, but they cost a lot and lack features. So they've come up with a workaround that uses the instrument's built-in accelerometer. What is that? I don't fucking know. So an accelerometer matches a device's movement. I'm not sure why it would have an accelerometer but not velocity sensitivity. What the fuck is wrong with this company? Seriously, why does it have an accelerometer but no velocity sensitivity? Where are their priorities at? So the fact that you can do it now means that either they've come up with a genius workaround for it, or they knew that they could do this originally and didn't do it, or they rushed it out the door. Other features additions in this firmware update include the ability to match the tape speed to the incoming external clock, the option to toggle between mono and stereo on the line in, pre-tape panning, and the ability to sync the FM transmit frequency with the OP4 Teenage Engineering's magical radio. So if you wanted the radio and OP1 field, it'll cost you both your legs and your penis. And 15 grand. Likes disabled. That's always a good sign. Comments are not disabled though for some reason. Kind of weird. You know, they literally could have just made a video where it's like, hey, the OP1 is velocity sensitive now. Well, these hipster pieces of shit had to put someone in a spacesuit just playing with fucking phallic objects. I know they're mushrooms, but it's funnier to say that they're phallic objects. And then they have this dumbass sound just playing mostly in the left ear for some reason. And they have this horrible slow-mo clip that's just in like 3 FPS. So if mushrooms don't work with this, I'm gonna be extremely pissed off. Hey, dude, are the phallic objects sold with it or separately? So I already looked this up. This guy made a joke about them costing an extra $500 for the velocity add-on. Thankfully, they wouldn't do that. I mean, what am I saying? Of course they would do that, but they didn't do that. It's expensive as fuck here in the Middle East. It's expensive everywhere in the world, my guy. It doesn't have an undo. It doesn't have an undo button. Why? There has to be some sort of mind control with this. What is going on? What is happening? Dear God, they can't keep getting away with this. Teenage engineering cannot keep getting away with this. What's that, little buddy? What's that? He said news. And our next story, sped up songs are taking over TikTok and the world apparently. Why? Because of hyperpop. That's why. Okay, so check it. If you scroll through TikTok in recent months, it's likely you will have heard a song or two you recognize that's been sped up by half. It sounds as if the singer has inhaled a lung full of helium. Mainstream artists are even releasing versions of these songs, of their own songs, sped up. Basically, it's the opposite of the slowed down and reverb effect. People have had enough of that, so now they are going to sniff Adderall and listen to sped up songs. And we're basically just turning it all into hyperpop until we get bored of that. And we're probably going to go back to slowed and pitched down or whatever the fuck. They got to come up with a better name than sped up. Oh, God damn it. How long has that been out? Holy crap, it's the news. In our next story, Spitfire Audio thinks that it's created the definitive Wurlitzer electric piano plugin. Why is this article so condescending? I don't fucking know. Let's see if we can figure out why. Why? My neighbors love me. The latest Spitfire Originals instrument emulates a true keyboard classic, the Wurlitzer electric piano. It's 5.6 gigabytes and it only has 4 presets. They must be fucking good, I would hope. So it mixes together 5 signals, the WIRLI, an amplified sound, the speaker output of the piano, a time stretched, and processed pad signal that adds an atmospheric and ambient layer and an overdriven sound. I'm starting to see why this is 5 gigs now. And it only costs $29. That is very reasonable. Thank you, Spitfire Audio. Yep. I'm trying to tell them about the news. Have you wanted to make adult film music from the 70s? Not really. Wardolph originally launched the Streichfett, hopefully I'm saying that correctly, hardware string synth in 2014. The general vibe was along the lines of how adult movies sounded 30 years ago. The 70s were like 50 years ago. That's right, I forgot. Time stopped in 2000, right? Yeah. So now they have a plug-in version of that. It's 33 pounds. And you can expect rich and creamy pads. What do they mean by that? Cool beat. Not really giving me porn vibes though. How fucked would it be if there was just like insane sex sounds just started happening? Can cheese, moaning, the whole shebang.
Oh yeah.
I swear I didn't add that sound in. I guess that was pretty cool. I'm a little horny for some news. And our next story, more synth shit. Okay, so Sequential unveils the Trigon 6, Dave Smith's final synth. We believe it continues his legacy. It's a 6-voice analog polysynth and is designed to be an ideal mix of portability and power. 3 newly designed discrete voltage controlled oscillators per voice and simultaneously selectable wave shapes, triangles, sawtooth, reverse sawtooth, variable width pulse. Beyond this, there's a 2 and 4 pole ladder filter design with feedback and drive and analog voltage controlled amplifiers. It's got effects section including reverbs, modeled digital and analog delays, chorus, flanger, phase shifter, and ring mod. Hey, this thing sounds pretty good. I wonder how much it is. Holy shit. News? News. Alright, that's it for the news tonight, guys. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't. Check out my Discord, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram. I'll see you guys in the next video. Remember, if I get to 25K by the end of the year, I gotta shave it. Completely bald. Not forever, but I'm just gonna do it one time. And it'll probably be funny. I think it'll probably be pretty funny. Another WNN coming soon. I had to split this into two of them because there was too much news and there was too much to talk about within the news.